What's up, guys? My name is MrGreen, and in this video I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, Lawrence of Arabia. If for whatever reason you don't know, Lawrence of Arabia was directed by David Lean and stars Peter O'Toole, Alec Guinness, Anthony Quinn, Jack Hawkins, and Claude Rains, and is one of the most epic things that I've ever seen in my entire life. Now in this video I'm going to be reviewing the movie, talking about what's good, talking about what's bad, talking about what's ugly, and then I'm going to be reviewing the 4K release that came with the Columbia Classics Volume 1, which I have right here. It's the greatest thing I own. And now, on to the review. Now I chose this one to be my first review because it's one of my favorite films of all time, it's one of the most epic films of all time, and it's one of the most well-known films of all time. But with that comes the fact that there aren't that many flaws. Now the one thing that people usually point to when they're talking about flaws about Lawrence of Arabia is some racial insensitivity. Let's go with that. Now, if you don't know, actors in this film do what we call brownface, which is when a white man portrays a person of a different ethnicity, but without any whitewashing. They make themselves look like that ethnicity. Now, I'm never gonna condone this. This is wrong, but there aren't that many racial stereotypes that come with it. None of them do a weird accent or make themselves act stupid or anything. They play it like any other character, but that doesn't make it okay. I'm not defending this. I'm just saying, don't let it distract you from the fact that it is a good movie in and of itself. So I just want to get that out of the way. If you can overlook it, like I can, mostly, you will really enjoy this film. Now let me talk about the good things. The acting is amazing. Peter O'Toole and Alec Guinness give their best performances that I've seen. Anthony Quinn and Jack Hawkins and the rest of the supporting cast is great. And of course, I love seeing Claude Rains and stuff. That man is the best. He is amazing and I miss him, even though I wasn't alive when he was. Now I'd also like to talk about the editing, the cinematography, and the score. This movie is edited very well. This movie is over 3.5 hours long, but it feels more like 2.5 hours because it's edited in such a fast pace that it doesn't leave you bored. The cinematography is also beautiful, and it gives me some of the most beautiful images of the desert I have ever seen. I am not a fan of the desert. No, I just don't like it. It's hot, it's gross, and ugh. But when I watched this, I just thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life, and the music helps so much. It is magical. It just immerses you into this grand experience. It doesn't even feel like a movie at times. It feels like an experience, like I'm watching Fantasia. It's like you're at a stage and you're watching this orchestra perform this magnificent music among these beautiful images. It just immerses you in such a way that is replicated by very few. I can only think of Fantasia right now, but it's just done really well. I'd also like to give a round of applause to the costume designs and the set design. They are really good. They're perfect. This movie is just perfect. And I haven't even talked about the writing and the directing, which is of course perfect. This movie is just magnificent. It's perfect in every way, and it deserves the title of probably the most epic movie of all time. It's just so grand and powerful. It just immerses you with its story and its characters, and it is virtually flawless. Lawrence of Arabia is a magnificent film. Ignore the runtime. It goes by so much faster than one would think, and I'm going to give Lawrence of Arabia an A+. Now that's going to be my grading system. A+ is going to be the highest, F is going to be the lowest. Now, I'd like to move on and talk about the 4K release of this film. Now, I don't own a lot of 4Ks. The only 4Ks I own are the Columbia Classics Volume 1, Apocalypse Now, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, all of them are really good, but of the ones I have, I can safely say this is the best looking one and the best sounding one. This sounds very clear, it's like they're talking to me, and this looks amazing. I've never seen anything looking better. I don't know if that's just the movie itself or its 4K transfer, but it works really, really, really well. Now, something that I always like to talk about, and the reason why I honestly don't like to get 4Ks is for the packaging. The reason why I don't like to get 4Ks is I prefer it when it's blue. But I'm just going to overlook that, and I can still safely say this is an amazing packaging. It's got the slipcover with a quote on the back. If one measure of a film's greatness is its power to affect the lives of those who see it, then Lawrence of Arabia must be the best film I know, says the New York Times. I don't know when, but they did. And honestly, I kind of like this artwork on the inside more than the slipcover, even though it's unique, one of a kind. You can only get it in like the Columbia Classics, but I like this. Problem with the packaging that I have is that the discs are stacked. I hate that, honestly. I don't like it when discs are stacked because I always am afraid that I'm just going to scratch them up into just nothing. There's just going to be pieces of discs in here. That's very unrealistic, as you know, but I just don't like it when discs are stacked. But I was very glad to know that 4K discs don't scratch easily. So it's not a major flaw. Like you could get, I wish they did the swinging arm inside, but you can just take the discs and put them somewhere else, leave the 4Ks inside. You can leave them stacked if you appreciate that, but this is a very good release, and I'm going to give the release of Lawrence of Arabia a 9 out of 10. That's how I'm going to be grading the releases. 1 out of 10 is the worst, 10 out of 10 is the best. If it wasn't for the disc stacking, this would have to be a 10 out of 10, absolutely, but I just don't like it. So guys, that's my first review on the channel. I'm going to be bringing more to you as soon as possible. Leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a dislike if you want. I don't care, whatever gets me views. And